Since French President Emmanuel Macron lost the European elections to the far-right National Rally on June 9 and announced snap parliamentary elections, attacks on LGBTQ people have been deliberately. Political rights groups fear that if the far-right come to power in under 2 weeks, laws put in place to protect LGBTQ people could be dismantled and violent attacks legitimized. When low doses of cancer drugs are administered continuously near malignant brain tumors using sarcodiotroic technology, cancer cell growth drastically decreases. Ottawa is planning to add Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) to the list of terrorist organizations. The Canadian Broadcasting Corp (CBC) said Wednesday the Ottawa added Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) to the list of terrorist organizations, as it called on Canadian nationals in Iran to leave the country. Our Gov. Paris. Nearly 2,000 children die every day from health problems linked to air pollution, which is now the second biggest risk factor for early death worldwide. A report said on Wednesday exposure to air pollution contributed to the deaths of 81 million people, about 12% of all fatalities in 2021, said the report from the US-based Health Effects Institute. This means air pollution has overtaken tobacco use and poor diet to become the second leading risk factor for early death, behind only high blood pressure. It added little kids are particularly vulnerable to air pollution, and the institute partnered with the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF for its annual State of Global Air report. Air pollution contributed to the deaths of more than 700,000 children younger than 5. The report found more than 500,000 of those deaths were attributed to cooking indoors using dirty fuels such as coal, wood or dung, mostly in Africa and Asia. These are problems we know that we can solve. Pallavi Pant, the Health Effects Institute's head of global health, told Agence France-Presse AFP profound effects on next generation. Nearly every person in the world breathes unhealthy levels of air pollution every day. The report found over 90% of the deaths were linked to tiny airborne pollutants called PM25, which measure 25 micrometers or less. It said inhaling PM25 has been found to increase the risk of lung cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes and a range of other health problems. The report aimed to link the rates of such diseases with air pollution levels, but despite the pretty stark figures, the report could still be underestimating air pollution's impact. Pant said it did not take into account how air pollution could affect brain health, neurodegenerative diseases or what impact using solid fuels for heating could have. She added the report also found that ozone pollution, which is expected to get worse as the world warms due to human-driven climate change, was linked to nearly 500,000 deaths in 2021. Increasingly, many parts of the world are seeing very short, intense episodes of air pollution, during events such as wildfires, dust storms or extreme heat, which can drive up ozone levels. Pant said there are very similar solutions for both climate change and air pollution, particularly reducing greenhouse gas emissions. She added more can also be done about using dirty solid fuels for cooking indoors. Pant said, pointing to how China had made significant improvements in this area. More than 2 billion people cook on basic stoves or over open fires indoors, inhaling the harmful smoke partly due to access to cleaner cook stoves. The rate of small children dying from problems linked to air pollution has fallen by more than 50% since 2000, the report said in May. The International Energy Agency announced that $22 billion had been pledged by governments and companies to improve access to less deadly cooking methods. The report used data covering more than 200 countries and territories from the Global Burden of Disease study conducted by the United States-based Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. Every day, almost 2,000 children under 5 years die because of health impacts linked to air pollution. Los Angeles, California education bosses in Los Angeles voted on Tuesday to work toward a complete ban on the use of smartphones in the city's schools. The move came as the top government official in California, the most populous state in the United States, voiced support for restrictions on the devices and as concerns grow about their impact on the mental health of young people. The Los Angeles Unified School District Lost Board of Education, which manages the second biggest school district in the country, ordered staff to devise a plan to prohibit cellular phones and social media throughout the school day. Schools that have already implemented a phone-free school day report incredible results. Kids are happier, they're talking to one another, their academics are up, said board member Nick Melvois, who proposed the ban. And so I really think this is an idea whose time has come. The resolution cited research indicating excessive cell phone use was associated with increased stress, anxiety, depression, sleep issues, feelings of aggression and suicidal thoughts in adolescents. It says eliminating phone and social media usage during the day has been shown to increase scores on standardized tests and final exams, gains that are equivalent to an additional hour of instructional time per week. The lost vote, which would affect 600,000 students, comes after U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, the country's top doctor, called for warning labels on social media platforms, which he said were incubating a mental health crisis. Adolescents who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media face double the risk of anxiety and depression symptoms, Murthy wrote in a New York Times opinion piece. The average daily use in this age group, as of the summer of 2023, was 48 hours, he noted hours before the lost vote on the resolution, which instructs staff to come up with a plan within the next 4 months. California Gov. Gavin Newsom threw his weight behind a statewide effort to clamp down on smartphone use among school children. As the Surgeon General affirmed, social media is harming the mental health of our youth. He said when children and teens are in school, they should be focused on their studies, not their screens. A bill pending in the California state legislature would require school districts to adopt measures prohibiting or limiting students' use of phones while at schools. I look forward to working with the legislature to restrict the use of smartphones during the school day, said Newsom, a father of 4 Florida, whose governor, Ron DeSantis, is an arch-rival of Newsom's, banned student cell phone use last year. Similar plans are afoot in Oklahoma, Kansas, Vermont, Ohio, Louisiana, and while the revised chat control is set to be voted on June the 20th, Signal CEO and other experts warn against its privacy and security risk. Here is what's is the Puffy Lux hybrid or the Beautyist Harmony Lux the best luxury hybrid for you? Here's how to choose between them.